Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Hakim. I'm a graduate of Hillel Yeshiva from Deal. This week I'd like to talk about a paramount quote from Tanakh that we find in this week's parasha. A pasuk, or part of a pasuk, that has become its own mantra for Bnei Israel. And that is, Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will listen. Being in college outside the community, I've learned to appreciate my yeshiva education. And what we learned is a classic story. After Har Sinai, divine revelation, God hands down the Aseret HaDibrot. Vayikra be'aznei ha'am, Moshe relays the laws to the nation, who respond, Na'aseh v'nishma. The Gemara explains this out-of-order phrasing, we will do and then we will listen, that Bnei Israel hadn't even heard the full commandments, and yet Na'aseh, will do them anyways. As showing their full-heartedness or enthusiasm, Bnei Israel had to fulfill God's will, signaling their trust, their assent to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, even before knowing the full story. Rav Kook writes that this was actually a paramount moment for Am Yisrael, their finest hour. The Midrash compares them to angels, actually, in that they had no hindrance of emunah. Their faith in that moment was rock solid, as opposed to our usual selves who sometimes lack that true emunah, that belief that Hashem is holding all the cards and has better things in store for each of us, which of course we know is true. Rabbi Sachs offers a second interpretation. Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will understand. That we can only truly understand Judaism by doing it, performing the mitzvot, living a Jewish lifestyle, getting out of bed for minyan, or saying Birkat HaMazon even when we're in a rush. And the real understanding comes after. First is the act, and only after comes the insight, the comprehension. To understand our purpose in this world, we truly have to live it. This is a little jarring from our modern Western thought process. Of course, you need to understand a contract before you sign it, and much more so do we not need to understand what we're doing when performing mitzvot. Rabbi Sachs explains, however, that this thought process does not hold when dealing with a deep existential commitment, our ikar, our essence, why we're all here. The only way to understand leadership, for example, is to lead. To understand marriage is to get married. Those who hover on the edge of commitment, reluctant to make a decision until all the facts are in, will eventually find that life has passed them by. The only way to understand a way of life is to take the risk involved in living in it. So Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do, and eventually, through hard work and continuation, we will understand and get closer to Hashem and fulfill our purpose in this world. Now, sometimes it is very difficult to practically carry this out. Our hearts are not always in it. Tough days and outside influences get the better of us, and God sometimes seems totally out of the picture. The lesson here is 4 times of struggle, though. Even after the most inspiring class or the most beautiful Naktishach, there will always be a downturn, a sudden crack in our belief. During those moments, it's up to us to take a step back and know that the first step to understanding is to do. Commitment is not just a word, it's an act. Now, this is not a blind following of ideas. We all have questions, and thank God we have people and sources that can answer them. It is instead a framework to carry out our mission here and know, at least somewhat, that through our actions, understanding will follow, not the other way around. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.